Alright, so quick deck list for my Splinter Twin combo deck. So, oops, messed up here. So we have the 4 Splinter Twin, 2 Thunder Trap Tainers, 4 Fire and Ice, 4 Counter Spells, 2 Spell Pierce, 1 Traumatic Critic, 4 Faithless Looting, 1 Lauren Reveals, 2 Gavin, 3 Diagonal Shanders, DRCs, 2 Expressive Iterations, 3 Pestermites, 3 Deceiver Exarchs, 1 Fear of Missing Out, 4 Preordained, 1 Wooded Foothills, Steam Vent, and a bunch of land. Going back there, Thunder Falls, Sulphur Falls, Firebluff Canal. And for the sideboard, we have 2 Kiki-Jikis, 2 Vendilion Clicks, 1 Remand, 2 Blood Moons, 2 Flusterstorms, 2 Tormont Crypt, 2 Brotherhood's End, and 2 Unholy Heaths. So this is my modern Splinter Twin deck, and one of my favorite parts about this deck is there's actually 2 combos here. So we have, sorry, 3 ways different combos. So we have the Splinter Twins, and with the Splinter Twins you have the usual suspects, which are the Pestermites and the Deceiver Exarchs. So we know with those two, it's basically you play your Deceiver Exarch, and then the next turn you attach your Splinter Twin to it. What happens is when you tap your Deceiver Exarchs, it will make another copy from the Deceiver Exarchs. Now, when the Deceiver Exarchs enters, you choose one untapped target permanent you control or tap target permanent in opponent control. Now, what you want to do usually is you want to untap the original Deceiver Exarch, and then tap it again, then again, then again. And because Splinter Twin, all those copies have haste, so you can kind of make 120 copies and go off. Now, with my sideboard, we do have Kiki-Jiki that does the same thing as Splinter Twin. It is in the sideboard because sometimes against control you want to have about 6 copies of Splinter Twin technically, so you can actually have something to do. Because this deck, if you don't go off with Splinter Twin and Kiki-Jiki, you're losing. It's the same thing with the Pestermites. It's the same ability. We're doing the same exact thing. Now, the new piece that's interesting with this deck now is the Fear of Missing Out. Now, Fear of Missing Out has the piece that says that when it has Delirium, the first time it attacks, if you have 4 or 4 more types, after this phase there's an additional combat phase if you untap a creature. So what you usually want to do is you want to add the Splinter Twin. Now the main thing is you want to make sure you have Delirium. Now after you have Delirium, what you're going to do is you are going to attack. Now when you attack, it's going to untap. It's going to tell you to untap something. You're going to untap the original Fear of Missing Out. You're going to tap it during that combat phase. You're going to make another copy. Now that copy is still going to trigger the enter and discard the dark card. So what you want to make sure is, well, technically this is not an infinite combo, but it's big enough where you can have a board of, let's say, 10 Fear of Missing Outs or something like that, and just a swing and attack. Now since they all have haste and multiple combat states, usually almost 90% guaranteed to win, but sometimes that messes up too. So usually you want to depend on those two. Now it does the same thing with Kiki-Jiki, but most times you're really not going to do that. And we do have ways to get Delirium, as you saw. We have the Faithless Lootings, the Dramatic Critic, the DRC. Now I do know there's no artifacts here, however we do have enchantments. That's the 4th type. So we have lands, creatures, instants, sorceries, and enchantments. So this is kind of make sure you can get the combo.